the Beast always teaches me one thing. No matter how ugly I am, I will find true love, because if the Beast can find true love and have a good personality, then, I mean, there's gotta be some hope, right? Zach, and I'm bringing you guys a very early review for Beauty and the Beast, the live-action remake of the Disney story classic of the cartoon animated movie that was actually nominated for Best Picture. How's it hold up? Is it amazing? Is it everything that the trailers have been pumping up for some of us? I will say Beauty and the Beast is such a magical story, and I mean this. The live-action movie is magical beyond belief. It really is a fun retelling of the story. There are some cons to it, but we'll get to those in a second. I really do want to gush over all the pros in this. You're probably wondering, how's Emma Watson as Belle? Is she amazing? Is she grand? Yes, Emma Watson is fantastic as Belle. She's exactly what you perfected to be. Because I mean, this movie, when they were announcing the cast, I was like, perfect, 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 and perfect. Everyone they got in here is perfect in the role that they were suited for, and Emma Watson is no doubtably perfect as Belle. She has a great singing voice. The way she postures herself is the same Belle that we knew back in the cartoon, and I loved it. And she gave it kind of a more modern spin to it, and I liked that about her character. And some of the little additions they put into her character were fantastic, and that's what I also liked about this movie. Some of the new additions they put to some of the character backstories, or how some of the characters meet and their interactions. It was different, it was unique, and I liked that about some of the differences. We'll get to more of those in a little bit. Now, I also do want to say great jobs to Ian McKellen, who plays Cogsworth. You also got Ewan McGregor, who plays Lumiere. You have Emma Thompson, who plays Mrs. Potts. I mean, there's such a great grand cast who does the voices and also plays the real-life humans when you get to see flashbacks and whatnot. And they all do a fantastic job in those roles as they're given. And is the CGI pretty good for the characters? I gotta say, at first it was a little glaring, but as the movie goes on, you totally forget about it and you totally are zoned in. I mean, it's a little harder than Jungle Book, where Jungle Book was a complete animals, and animals are real, and they look so realistic. And I mean, Beauty and the Beast does a fantastic job using inanimate objects to become real, and that's great to see. The trailers, I don't think, do justice, but once you actually watch the movie in the tone and the way it's played out, you can't really tell. You totally forget that they're all fake. Now, my three main standouts I do really want to praise in here is, first, Dan Stevens as the Beast. I'm a huge fan of Dan Stevens. Whatever I've seen him in, he's fantastic. I saw that he was actually casted as Beast. That got me so pumped to see what he could do with this role. Man, can I say, Dan Stevens does a fantastic job as Beast, as this prince, just this stuff around him. I mean, at first I was a little caught off guard. He was a little too one-noted for me. I wasn't really getting him. But the second after a certain event happens in the middle of the movie, when you actually get to learn more about the Beast, it really just hits you. And I mean, it's the same thing from the cartoon, but this movie plays it out in a different way. And it's a little weird taking it from cartoon to the live action, that you might have to change some things. And when they changed the stuff for this, it was perfectly integrated to actually add more character development for Beast, to make him fall more in love with Belle in a more believable way than it would be into a cartoon way. My two other standouts. Now, they are side characters, but I want to give a shout out to Josh Gad as LeFou. Great job! I mean, fantastic. I love Josh Gad, whatever he pops into here and there. He always does a great performance, but I mean, he has a singing voice. I know he was on Broadway, and here he is in Beauty and the Beast plays in LeFou, Gaston's little bumbling idiot friend. And I have to say, he does a great job with all of the singing and all the lines and just perfectly how he is. Now, my all-time favorite character in this, I love Luke Evans, and him as Gaston is perfect. I mean perfect. The second you see him on screen to the end of the sequence when you don't see him anymore by the end of the movie is fantastic. I mean, Luke Evans, I've always liked him in every role he's taken. Even these shitty movies he does, I still enjoy him in them because he's a fantastic actor, and this is no doubtably one of his best performances. He steals the show as Gaston. I could not imagine anyone else playing Gaston after seeing this in live action, because he's just the might, the everything. He's just perfect. And especially just some of the scenes when he's looking into the mirror and he's like, I'm beautiful. That's Luke Evans, and he portrays Gaston perfectly. I cannot gush over that enough. Seriously, if you are even afraid that you're like, who is this guy portraying Gaston? Seriously, look up his work and go see this movie. You will love his portrayal of Gaston. I promise you. So all the singing and all the dancing musical numbers going on, the way they're portrayed are beautiful. The imagery is fantastic, and Bill Condon really had a good filming style. Some of them are better than others, but I will say that the ones he did catch that were magnificent swept me off my feet and really felt magical. It gave me goosebumps at some parts because I was so overwhelmed by everything going on the screen. I saw this in IMAX, and really I have to recommend seeing it in IMAX because you get such a bigger, mighty scale of what is happening on the scene. The script is really strong, the direction's really strong. So what are my cons? There's some things in here that they did change, and I would say for the first 15 minutes, I actually was not enjoying this movie at all. I really could not get into it, and I don't know what it was, but it was just the tone that was there. But then after those first 15 minutes and Emma Watson pops on the scene, it was completely done. I was fully locked once she started singing and I saw that scene. And some of the scenes that Bill Condon did direct and have the imagery on some, they were kind of filmed a little weird, and some of the editing was a little weird, but I can't push it against itself because I enjoyed myself watching Beauty and the Beast, and that's just more of a technical thing than anything else. And I mean, it just feels like a lot from what the cartoon is. It's very taking from the cartoon, changing some things that make some things better, and then some things they kind of changed and they should have just left alone, or maybe they added some scenes that were not needed. And I think one of my favorite things they really did change was giving more backstory to Belle. That is fantastic. When you see, I'm not going to spoil what it is, but when you see the backstory more to Belle, you really have a feeling for her and her father and just how much that bond between them is so caring. It's great to see them put that into this movie. Now, besides all those, I mean, the new songs are kind of just they're not really memorable. I mean, I remember more of the older songs than the newer ones. Nothing really jumped out to me that was so odd and amazing. But I also have to say that I didn't have that many cons for this movie. I was really whimsical. I was swept off my feet, and Beauty and the Beast really stole something inside of me. I really enjoyed Beauty and the Beast, and I have to say I'm really looking forward to going and seeing this movie again. It's so magical. It's such a fun time at the theaters, and if you're a family, go take your kids to see this. They're gonna love the movie. I have to say, this is a movie I think a lot of people are gonna go enjoy, and I think some hardcore Beauty and the Beast fans might be a little disappointed in it. But I will say, even if you are hardcore, I think there's still some stuff to love in here. I think you're going to love the portrayals that the characters give, and the actors really did go all out in this. No one did just half-ass stuff. With all that said, I'm going to give Beauty and the Beast a B+. I really like Beauty and the Beast. I'm sure even when I see it again, I'll probably even like it more. So I gotta say, what did you guys think of Beauty and the Beast? Have you seen it yet? What are your thoughts on it? Are you excited for this movie? Comment down below, let me know. Let's start a whole discussion. And if you guys want to see more, make sure to subscribe and also like. I love seeing the likes. I love seeing the subscriptions. I got another review for Kong Skull Island coming out later this week. Can't bring you guys that. And then next weekend, I am going to go on vacation, so I might not be posting so many videos, but the second I get back, it's my birthday weekend. You got Power Rangers and freaking Life. I'm really excited for both those films, and then Ghost in the Shell the week after. I can't wait to bring you guys those reviews. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And remember, tale as old as time, Beauty and the Beast.